This is Renelle, and welcome to Quality Hang with Rod Brooks and friends. And here he is now, your host, my main man, Rod Brooks.
Thank you very much, Renelle. I am Rod Brooks, and welcome everyone to Quality Hang. And as always, I'm joined on this broadcasting adventure by my friend, my partner in crime, your friend as well. He is the co-host of Quality Hang. He is Marcus Osborne. What up, dog? How you doing?
Salutations and greetings. It is cold.
I love, yeah, yeah, but thank God we live in California. I love the I love the stark differences between how we are dressed. I'm dressed per usual, like an overgrown adolescent, and you are dressed age appropriately. You are dressed like a man of your age. You look professional. You look distinguished. I look.
Not my choice. I feel like you have the best idea. You have the better idea. I have the worst circumstance.
All right, you know what? I'll take that. Because I was about to say I look like a child in a treehouse, and you look like the adult. You know what this looks like? You look like the high school guidance counselor that's trying to tell me to get my shit together if I want to make something of myself.
Right. Mr. Brooks, what do you want to do with your life?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, is there anything I can do for a living where I just talk shit? Maybe talk some sports? I don't know. Is there something Mr. Osborne, you could think I could do for a living?
I don't know. Not, you smoke crack, don't you?
Kill yourself expeditiously. Go get a job at UPS. That's all you're good for. Well, indeed, we have both found careers that allow us to do exactly what we want to do, even if we have to wear a tie in the process. We get to talk sports, and we get to talk about anything we want to, and we get to do it with people that we enjoy and people that we enjoy doing it for. That, of course, being the quality hangers who get into the comments, and you guys just take it over, and we absolutely love that. Before we start the show in earnest, we start it as we always do with a giant show of gratitude and thanks to the presenting sponsor of a Hop Monk of Quality Hang. That is the fine folks at Hop Monk Taverns, 3 locations to choose from: Sonoma, Sebastopol, and in Novato. And at all 3 locations, they all do the same great things. Fantastic food from a wildly diverse menu. There is something for everyone. Chicken tenders and grilled cheese sandwiches for the kids, to great chicken, great steaks, so much good stuff at Hop Monk for the adults. Or if you have a kid's taste buds, there's something there for you too. And the craft beer selection, while not for the kids, will make it easier for you to deal with the kids. Craft beer selection is absolutely out of this world. And if your kids happen to be terrible, let's just say you're being saddled with Bebe's kids. They have a full bar that will take the edge off of dealing with the Rugrats. And as far as the live music, live entertainment is concerned, that's my favorite part about Hop Monk, because at all 3 locations, it's a place for touring acts, touring musicians from around the country to stop by. But it's a great place for local artists as well, local musicians, local bands. And it is also a place where, you know what? Even if they're not having a show, it's a great place to hang out. Open mic night, open mic comedy night, country line dancing night. There's something for everyone. So again, check them out online and see what they have coming up live entertainment-wise, live music-wise at Hop Monk at hopmonk.com. Better yet, follow them on all the socials. Even better than that, stop by Hop Monk in Novato, Sonoma, or in Sebastopol. Let's get right into it. The Super Bowl is set. Yes.
I got to shout out Antonio One Funk, because my man is watching us live in a Dallas airport because he snowed in. That's dedication, baby.
I cannot think of a worse place to be trapped than the entirety, the whole of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, being trapped in DFW Airport, which is the 9th circle of hell. See, people don't know this. Like they think like the airport in Denver is satanic. Google it if you don't know what I'm talking about. But see, that's to throw you off to the scent. The real house of Satan is DFW Airport. So, Antonio, I hate that you're stuck there because of the weather, but if we can help you get through it or at least ease the pain of being stuck in Dallas against one's will, then damn it, we're going to do this show for you, sir.
My man said it's time for old fashioned.
You know, old fashioned, right? There's nothing worse than being stuck in an airport. Absolutely nothing worse than being stuck.
That's a big ass airport, man.
Yeah, it's a giant airport.
Houston is gigantic too.
Yeah. Anytime you have to take a mode of transportation to get from one gate to another, that's the airport is huge. So yeah, Antonio, baby, we are here for you. We're going to do our best to entertain you. So we know the Super Bowl. And it is a particularly noxious Super Bowl, Marcus, for Niner fans, because not only are you dealing with the Seahawks getting back to the Super Bowl and your rival, the team that kept you from getting home field advantage throughout the playoffs, also knocked you out of the playoffs in the divisional round, bitter rivals. So not only are they back in the Super Bowl in your home place, they are playing a team that if they win the Super Bowl, will win the 7th Super Bowl for the franchise, that being the Patriots, and will put them ahead of the Niners. So it's a Super Bowl where Niner fans are not particularly thrilled about what's going on, but it is the Super Bowl nonetheless, the Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. And we'll get to the games themselves, but it's the fourth down decision-making that got a lot of the pub. And I want to start with, Marcus, the AFC Championship game, because Sean Payton got a lot of grief, and grief that I don't necessarily think is unwarranted, that he should have kicked the field goal when it was 7-0. The Broncos had 4th and 1 at Denver's 14, or at New England's 14-yard line. 9 minutes, 27 seconds left. Notice that there's no snow on the ground. We had no idea what was coming, and maybe Sean Payton didn't even know what was coming. And that factored in, Marcus, into Sean Payton's decision to not kick the field goal. What did you have an issue with it? Do you think he should have kicked the field goal? And do you think that is ultimately the decision, along with the Broncos just not having anything offensively, and maybe the weather that we'll get to in a second? Do you think that field goal decision was the canary in the coal mine that let us know that the Broncos were in serious trouble losing that game?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult for me to have a whole lot of issue with it. I'm always the take the points guy, but I understand early in the game, you don't know what's coming. I wonder if they had known that it was going to get that bad, would he have just gone, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and get these points. But I feel like it's not the end of the world because it's such an early part of the game. The 3 points you can make up. And plus, let's be honest, neither one of these offenses was doing much of anything.
Before the snow showed up anyway. Exactly. We'll get to the snow and snow games and people's opinions about snow games and why they shouldn't happen in championship games, which, again, just blows my mind just thinking about it. If he would have kicked the field goal, wouldn't have bothered me. Wouldn't have bothered me at all.
Yeah.
Not kicking the field goal didn't bother me either. What bothered me, and I'll run the play here in just a second, is the play. When they lined up for this, I went, okay, I'm fine with this, because this is a Broncos team that has the best offensive line in football. They got an all-pro at right guard and an all-pro at left tackle. So to me, you need a yard. You need a yard behind that offensive line with the quarterback of Jarrett Stidham, who, with the exception of the long pass in the beginning of the game, you could see that the juice wasn't going to be worth the squeeze when it came to Jarrett Stidham. That they were going to have to play this game close to the vest, and they were going to have to play this game smart to protect him and protect the team overall. All right, you need a yard with that offensive line and a backup quarterback. And what do you do? What do you run? Not the field goal unit out there. You run a bootleg to set up a pass, which was dead on arrival because, as you see, the two Patriots players just shot both end gaps.
Immediately in the backfield.
What?
Immediately.
What do we do? You need a yard. You need a yard. Why are you throwing the ball? I don't have a problem with the decision to go for it. My problem is, and this is maybe my old man take on how I see football nowadays, you need a yard.
Dude,
why are you throwing it?
I'm completely with you. I'm an old school tutor because I'm like, I run it. I need a yard. Why am I not running?
It's like, and if they stop me, if I run it right up the center's back and they stop me, okay.
I really think that this is something that coaches have suffered more and more from the last few years. Everybody's going for it on fourth down now. And not only are we gambling that way, but you're gambling with the play call, getting a little too cute. Sometimes you just got to man up and be physical about it. Say, I'm just going to get this yard, and you're going to have to stop me. And this is just – it says that you don't have much confidence in your running game. That's what it says to me.
Yeah, but that's crazy to me considering how good that offensive line is. I'm running that bad boy off that left side behind 74 and 72, and hopefully that receiver out there gets that block on the outside. But to even turn around and think about throwing the football to the right side, even if that is the heavy part of the formation and the short side, it's the short side of the field. What are you throwing the ball over there for? If you're going to throw it, wouldn't you want to throw it where there's more space? And that's to the other side of the field. And just watching this play over and over, because you can tell I've seen it a million times, I don't understand why teams don't run whatever version they choose to run of the tush push, because it's the one play in the NFL where they don't adjudicate it correctly. Because if you notice with the tush push, and you saw this in this game later on when Drake May got that first down that they wanted to challenge, but they didn't challenge, and the spot looked kind of wonky. Mm-hmm. With the tush push, if you notice, they just wait for the quarterback to either get pushed past the first down marker or wait for the quarterback to get pushed back.
He stood up.
They never blow the play dead because forward momentum has stopped. If you watch any other play where forward momentum is being stopped, more than likely it's going to be a run play. But if a running back is forward momentum is stopped, that play is blown dead immediately. They rarely, if ever, give the running back a chance to try to get more yardage, and they definitely don't give the running back a chance to get pushed back. With the tush push, they wait for the quarterback to either get the first down or get pushed back. So to me, run your version of the tush push and just keep pushing until you get the first down, or if you're unsuccessful, which is the worst case scenario, you're pushed back. Why in the hell would you throw the ball behind that offensive line when you just need a yard? That to me is the worst decision, much worse than actually not kicking the field goal.
Way too cute, way overthinking. You got a guy who's at quarterback for you who really, and by the way, this is at the beginning of the game. Later in the game, maybe after he's warmed up, got the jitters out, got his feet up under him, maybe his decision-making is a little more settled. Okay, I can see you try to make the decision. But right off the rip, nah, dude. Just go man up and play real physical football and get that 1 yard. Period.
Yeah. It was crazy. And obviously we had no idea really what to expect for the rest of the game, and we didn't have an idea what was coming up weather-wise. But to me, that fourth down decision was the worst part about it was the play call.
The play call.
Just let your offensive linemen fire up. Offensive linemen want to run block. Let them dudes fire off the ball. Let them dudes go mano a mano. Let those dudes be physical and get that yard. But with a rookie quarterback, when you just need a yard, you're deep in their territory and you bootleg to throw? Nah, man. Nah. Yeah. That's dumb.
I agree.
All dumb.
I mean, and listen, I enjoyed the game thoroughly. I don't care what people was talking about snow. I enjoyed that game thoroughly. I love that defensive type of stuff. I love all that, man. Every single play could be the play.
Yeah.
Love
No, absolutely loved it. What'd you think of the other fourth down decision
Well,
in the Rams Seattle game?
that one is inexcusable. Sorry, that's just a dumb play. That is again, you're too smart for your own good. You fall in love with your reputation. Take your 3 points. You're down by 1, which means a field goal can win it for you, and you've got 4 minutes left. I know the defense hasn't been playing super great, but at least you give yourself a chance to win with a kick. Because where they ended yesterday, they actually would have had a chance to call some real plays to get a field goal.
So Rams, they don't kick the field goal on 4th and 4 at Seattle 6. And I held up 3 fingers, as you were mentioning. They didn't kick the field goal, didn't get the first down. So they're down 31-27, which eventually ended up being the final score. But I held up 3 fingers because they had 4 minutes left and 3 timeouts.
I mean,
you kick the field goal, you make it 31-30 with those 3 times. Because here's the thing that drives me crazy about today's football discussion and how the lens we view football through now. It's as if we don't factor in or even understand the importance of defense. It's not just score.
Right.
At some point in time, you have to rely on your deep. You have to rely on them to.
You got to trust them.
Stop. And to me, this whole idea of, well, because it's an offensive game, and because I don't either particularly like defense or I don't trust defense, my entire worldview in terms of how I coach a game or how I manage a game is all going to be based on from an offensive point of view.
Yep.
And to me, that's short-sighted, because if you're the Rams, now this is all predicated on getting the ball back. But again, there's 2 units, there's 3 units, but 2 units, offense and defense. I have gotten us to within a field goal. I have gotten us to within a point. I'm going to need you guys, with 3 timeouts at our disposal, I'm going to need you guys to make a stop.
Yep.
I'm going to need you guys to make a stop. And to me, I would rather bank on that than 4th and 4 and running whatever the hell play that was. I think this idea of every decision, particularly the 4th down decisions, if not exclusively the 4th down decisions, for all of those decisions to have to be made in the vacuum of it's just offense. Yep. We have to score because they're going to score.
Yep.
No. How about you score and you play some defense the way football has been played in the modern era for 45, 50 years.
Right. And the worst part about that is they acted like they were guaranteed to get a touchdown if they had gotten that first down.
Right. It worked.
You're not guaranteed anything.
You were probably going to waste more time trying to get a touchdown if you did not. Probably you were going to waste more time trying to get a touchdown within 4 minutes. And if you don't get it, then you're still kicking a field goal, and now you don't have as much time.
And either way, your defense is going to be on the field.
And they're going to have to make a play.
So take the points to be down by 1 and play defense as opposed to being down by a touchdown, because you got to get a TD at this point. I just don't understand. Like every single metric in the book would say, kick the field goal right here.
Yeah. But you will have people argue up and down that going for it was the right move to make. You'll never convince me otherwise. And it's not me hating the way football is now coached, the way that people now look at football. To me, just from a common sense standpoint, I would rather be down. Ultimately, you want a touchdown. But if I can't get that, I would rather be down 1 with 4 minutes left, 3 timeouts.
With a good kicker.
Considering how bad Rams special teams, and I told you about Rams special teams, that was part of the reason why they lost the game. Which that's the irony of all ironies, is that the field goal kicking situation stabilized when they pulled that guy Harrison Mevis off the street, but he was drilling field goals in that game. In the game yesterday, I just don't understand how being down 1 with 4 minutes left and 3 timeouts is a terrible situation and one you should avoid at all costs. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yep. Amen. I don't. I don't know how much he's thought about it. I really haven't heard him make any comments about it. Actually, I haven't heard people really talk about it as much as I've heard the Sean Payton thing discussed, which is really surprising. Because to me, that was far more egregious than Sean Payton's.
Yeah. No, it was crazy to see it happen in real time. But I guess because the final outcome ended up being what it was, it kind of got lost in the sauce. And listen, Seattle was the better team. Better team won that game, and so I guess it doesn't look that egregious. People focus more on the Sean Payton situation because of what eventually happened in terms of the weather and how that game just completely and totally changed in terms of offensively. You weren't going to send any of that game tape before it snowed to the Hall of Fame. All right, let's keep it a buck. Nobody was looking at that going, that reminds me of the greatest show on turf. That is some of the best offensive football I've played. But once we got to the snow, the game changed, and I think the change, even though for a lot of people it might not have been aesthetically pleasing, because it did make it into a sort of a grinded out.
It was a battle of will
at the finish, and maybe a war of attrition. I kind of enjoyed that. I kind of enjoyed it. I absolutely enjoyed it.
Of course you do, because that's football. It is a battle of wills. It is a battle of who's going to be tougher under these conditions. I love it. Right. I love it.
Right. And who has the game, just to use that catch-all term, who has the game to be able to adjust in those adverse conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to me, that should still be a part of football. And to me, it should still be a part of football that's celebrated. But what is celebrated more than anything else is it's got to be points.
Yeah.
Points. And if you don't get points, then somehow, some way, it was a bad performance, or it was a bad football game, or it was a bad product, the word that people like to use now when talking about the NFL. When, to me, the snow coming in, making it, conditions-wise, two completely different games from the first half to the second half, from the first quarter, as you see on the screen, to the fourth quarter. It's like there's something about that to me makes it attractive, that you can have a game that can change because conditions change. Now, how do the human beings change and deal with the conditions that have changed? I like that.
Me too. It ups the stakes. It ups the drama. Some of my all-time favorite games have been because they're snow games.
No, I know one you didn't like.
Yeah, I hated that
one. My bad, dog. I didn't need to bring that up, brother. I'm sorry.
No, but you know what? Even in hindsight, one of the things that makes that game so dramatic is the fact that it ended up in the snow.
Yeah.
I mean, these are amazing games.
Listen.
I watched the Raiders beat the Cleveland Browns in the snow, and they had to come back and win it. And then Mike Davis had to get an interception in the end zone. Like, I love the snow game.
We had a playoff game in the snow last year. The Rams and the Eagles. I don't remember the score, but there were points scored. Listen, to me,
Buffalo, good snow games.
Yeah, absolutely. To me, the weather conditions, I think it affected decision making late in the game, because clearly Mike Vrabel was like, "I'll just give you guys the ball, knowing that y'all can't advance it." Mainly due to the fact that you have a backup quarterback that is playing like a backup quarterback. But to me, I just don't think the snow had that much effect on the offenses, because, again, we saw the offenses when there was no snow and when all the points were scored, and it wasn't all that great to begin with. It wasn't great at all.
It's a psychological thing that makes these – one more added thing for these cats to think about. Yeah. One more psychological mind fuck for these guys to think about. And If we could play all the games in the snow, I would love it. Rain too. I love watching rain games.
I know.
Swampy.
I love watching these incredible athletes deal with adverse conditions. I think at some point you have to find a way to appreciate these guys, not just using their physical gifts, but also using their mental gifts in terms of how do I deal with conditions that are not pristine.
Yeah.
I think there's something to that. And I don't think there's anything better than seeing football played in the snow. You cannot get a better picture on your television screen than watching a football game played in snow.
Oh man, it's amazing. It's so beautiful. Cleveland games. I remember the New England game where the guy had to come out there with
the convict on the snowplow.
Yeah.
The convict on the snowplow. And by the way, people are like, the conditions affected the game, and a championship and a trip to the Super Bowl should not be decided because of the weather, or the weather shouldn't be a factor. I just watched my football team, particularly the quarterback of my hometown football team and the offensive coordinator, completely looked like they were not ready for the snowy conditions in New England last week. Like the Texans, and clearly CJ Stroud, just simply not ready for those conditions.
That's such a bold.
Doesn't bother me at all that they were not as prepared as they should have been, and that possibly, if not completely, contributed to their loss. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me at all. That's just part of football.
Incredibly bogus argument to say that the snow shouldn't. Every single game they play is affected by the elements. Now, all of a sudden, you want to take that away. Why not just play it inside? Why not just play the championship games in neutral fields in domes?
Well, I mean, understanding that social media is not real life, but there were more than a few people that bandied that idea.
So dumb.
Even if it didn't snow, they're playing a football game a mile above sea level.
Yeah.
You know what's one of the biggest factors?
Yep.
The altitude.
Yep. I mean, Ryan Clark couldn't play because he was going to die if he played in Denver.
At some point in time, we have to appreciate home field advantage.
Right.
And a lot of people, and really this has to do with gambling. Like, gambling ain't my thing. It ain't my type of hype. That's what you want to do. That's fine. It's just not something it's just not my get down.
I'm with you.
But people want to see football played in a terrarium. They want to see it played in what they believe to be perfect conditions, because they don't want anything other than the humans playing the game, and I guess officiating the game and coaching the game. They don't want anything outside of the people involved in football actually having a determination as to what happens in the game, because it might mess up their parlay.
Shit, man. I love seeing these dudes slipping and sliding in the rain. I remember a couple of games when Barry Sanders was playing in the rain. He was watching these cats slide across the grass. Barry could play on any surface, by the way. But the fact that he was so good, even on a wet grass field, and still could make those cuts and make people fall, amazing.
Yep. Amazing. And by the way, the owners, they want domes, not because of your comfort, not because they want football played in perfect conditions. The owners want domes. They want retractable roof stadiums so they can host Super Bowls, so they can host Final Fours, so they can host UFC events, and WWE or whatever the wrestling events are called. That's what they want the domes for. Because if they cared about actual player performance and game performance, the field conditions at certain places will be a lot better than it is.
There'd be no turf anywhere.
Miss me with that nonsense. They want these domes and retractable roof stadiums so they can host concerts and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, give me snow games. Snow games every day. Every day, all damn day. We have 2 weeks to talk about the Super Bowl, so I don't think we need to give our pick just yet.
Yeah.
We'll refrain.
Plus, somebody's going to do something stupid.
I don't think anybody's going to do anything stupider than old boy with the Falcons. What was his name?
Eugene Robinson.
Eugene Robinson.
The preacher.
Got hooked
Mr.
up.
Clean. Got caught with a hoe.
Got caught in the mix with the lady of the evening.
That's so funny, dude. That was the irony of all that was that this was all year long. Was he like Man of the Year or something?
I'm just about to say, I think he won the Man of the Year award.
Yeah. Mr. Squeaky Clean, God Squad, Preacher Man.
Well, you know what they say. Those are the ones you always got to watch out for.
Hey, he caught that New Orleans flu that night, boy.
We've all been there. I mean, not the night before Super Bowl, but we have all been there. Quick Warriors update. Warriors second of a back-to-back against the Minnesota Timberwolves. No Steph. No Draymond because, well, no Steph.
And nobody. No Steph,
Al Horford.
No Butler.
No Butler, no Jonathan Kuminga, and no chance to win this basketball game, even without Anthony Edwards. 8 minutes and change left to go in the game. Minnesota.
This is your future,
91.
Warrior fans.
The Warriors 63.
This is your future.
It's So,
by the way, I watched some of that game, and it was ugly. And you know what?
The game yesterday or tonight?
Tonight.
Oh yeah, I'm watching it right now. Yes, it's ugly.
One of the things I noticed immediately, and this is how you can tell that Steve Kerr didn't give a rat's ass about this game. These dudes were just like no passing. Pat Spencer was acting like he was Kobe Bryant out there, just chucking. And then Brandon Podzinski, he was just chucking. Everybody's like, this is my time to shine.
Well, I mean, who are you going to pass it to?
I mean, you know what? You'll probably give yourself a better shot at winning or competing if you're moving the ball. But you going up against – I watched these, you're like, this is terrible.
I don't disagree with that. Yes, sharing is caring. Passing the ball is always the wise thing to do. But, I mean, in this instance, there's a nice pass right there.
Well, and I say that because it's so far outside of what the system is. That's what it is for me.
Well, I mean, but the system is Steph.
System is Steph. That's facts.
So,
woo! Get ready for it, Warrior fans. This is coming.
The system ain't there. Get them shots up, baby. And Pat Spencer only has 4 or 5 games left on that 2-way contract. The Warriors are going to have to figure out some decision with him, and they will. I don't know the calculus on it, but they have to figure out something. So if I'm Pat Spencer, shit, I'm getting these shots up, dog.
He definitely getting them up.
I'm getting these shots up, baby. So
every time they come down the court, everybody's going, "You seen the ball? You seen the ball?"
It's the give and go offense. You give me the ball, the rest of y'all can go to hell. So,
Hey, you know what, Rod? I mean, next year, I legitimately believe it could be the last year for everybody. 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 I think it could be the last year for everybody. Draymond, Steve Kerr, Butler. And if that happens, Steph's already said he don't want to rebuild nowhere.
This is just my
opinion. If Steve Kerr's not there, he ain't gonna want to play for no other coach.
This is my opinion. I think this is Steve Kerr's last year. I think Steph, because he is still playing at I'd say he's playing at a high level. I was gonna couch it there for a second, but no, Steph's playing at a high level because he is playing at a high level and he's healthy. I could see him doing a couple of more years. I think Steph's insistence that he plays for Steve Kerr, I think it's real, it's genuine, but I think a lot of that, that type of statement is based on don't fire him. You know what I mean? Firing him for whatever reason because he and the front office are not getting along. That would let Steve go out on his own terms. And if we have to make a decision on another coach based off of Steve saying, I don't want to be the coach anymore for whatever reason, then we can go in a different direction as far as getting another coach. But if Joe Lacob gets a wild hair one day because of some Jonathan Kuminga-based disagreement, and he decides that he doesn't want to have Steve Kerr coach anymore. Steph's saying, I want to play for Steve Kerr only, is the buffer that stands between an owner that may get an itchy trigger finger and Steve Kerr staying Steph Curry's coach as the Golden State Warriors. Did you catch what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I wouldn't expect that Steve Kerr would be fired at this point.
No. I wouldn't either. But again, we've seen dumb shit happen. Yeah. And clearly the Warriors are not in as good of a place organizationally in terms of everybody getting along and everybody pulling in the same direction. Clearly they're not in that place right now as they were 10 years ago.
Obviously. And by the way, speaking of coaching, sometimes you get what you ask for. And that happens with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because what the fuck was that? What was that? I guess they got the bowl in their sights now. Like, I don't even know what they're doing over there.
Well, Mike McCarthy's from Pittsburgh. And I think it seemed to me that the Steelers kind of got caught off guard with Mike Tomlin saying he's leaving. And because they got caught off guard with that and all of those other jobs opening, and the Steelers being a very conservative organization, and you know they're not going to go out and make a splashy hire. They were going to go out and get Mike McDaniels, from Miami, who's now with Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers. The Steelers are not going to go out and get a young, hot offensive coordinator. They ain't going to get Clint Kubiak. You know what I mean?
No. They like defensive guys anyway.
But Mike McCarthy's an offensive guy.
What's so weird? Right.
Well, I think McCarthy being from Pittsburgh had a lot to do with it. I think the Steelers kind of getting caught off guard had a lot to do with it. Say 33% McCarthy being from Pittsburgh, 33% getting caught off guard. And McCarthy having sort of a winning background. I mean, he did win a Super Bowl, but he also got fired from Green Bay and he got fired from Dallas. The Steelers just being a very conservative organization, when you really think about it, it makes sense that they would do something that is the equivalent of oatmeal without any sugar. Yeah, it gets the job done, but it don't taste good. It's like it's a name they know. It's a name Steeler fans know. It's a name that has some cachet, and you could sell it as, well, McCarthy and Rodgers, they had that magic one time many years ago. Maybe with Rodgers' last ride, if he comes back.
He's 20 years older now. That's the other part.
No, I'm right there with you. I'm just trying to sort of present the lens in which a very conservative Steelers organization would see Mike McCarthy making sense in today's NFL. And if you're the Steelers and you've always been very conservative with your decision making, not just coaches, but how conservative they are with free agency, how conservative they are with paying, their own players, how conservative they are with guys that they draft. When you look at it through that lens, it's still, I don't think it's a good hire, but it's a hire that makes sense for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know what I mean? Just because they ain't gonna hire some hot young offensive coordinator. They're just not.
I see this as them going, you know what? This is a bridge hire. He's 62 years old. He's not going to coach for 10, 15 years. I can't see him getting into his 70s.
If they got 8 to 10 years out of Mike McCarthy, the Steelers would be. They don't do bridge hires. This is not a 35-year-old.
All of this is so abnormal for the Steelers. All of it is. That's what I'm like.
Oh yeah, because it's a completely different world now. Yeah,
sure. But 62-year-old coach, 42-year-old quarterback. I see him 4 years max, and then he's gone. 4 years, he's gone.
But see,
they're gonna fire him at 67.
but they don't fire anybody.
They don't, but they may have to.
And again,
Everything from here on out that the Steelers do is completely outside of what they've ever done. So nothing and no decision they make
it would stun me greatly if the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have not fired a coach since 1969, fired a coach.
Yeah, but they also never hired a coach this old.
That's a good point.
All those guys got hired in their early 30s, and they coached for 20 years.
That's a damn good point. That's a damn good point.
He ain't coaching till he's 80, right?
I could see him coaching 8 to 10 years. No, he's not going to coach till he's 80. He's not going to coach till he's 75. But I could see him getting in a good 8 to 10 years. He would.
Well, and they can kiss those non-losing seasons goodbye.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Depends on who the quarterback is for sure. Moving on to non-sports related topics. He's back, Marcus.
Who that?
Kanye West is back. Or at least he wants to come back. Kanye West has penned in, he hopes you believe it to be anyway, a sincere apology for his past behaviors. As you could see, there's a lot of words here, and we ain't got time to read all that. So, Kanye, whatever it is you're trying to say, speaking for myself, I ain't trying to hear it, Playboy. Couple of things here. Kanye West paid for this apology for it to run, Marcus, in the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
So that makes a lot of sense. And also, the answer to your question and the question of our viewers is yes, Kanye West does have a new album that is scheduled to come out here in the not too distant future. So that's why we have gotten this lengthy apology that is headlined with "To Those I've Hurt." Sorry, buddy, ain't buying it.
You made a lot of noise. I mean, he literally blew up his life the past 7 to 8 years. I mean, bro, I don't know if there's any coming back from the bridges you burned.
Get right with
Jay-Z and Beyonce, bro.
You're right. Right.
Over.
Get right with your ex-wife. Get right with your kids. Get right with Jay-Z and Beyonce, and get right with your baker. I ain't trying to hear it. I ain't trying to hear it at all.
That's a lot of words.
Yeah.
And all through any of it, everybody's going, nah, I'm cool.
Nah,
I'm cool.
Good. I'm good. Remember when you said slavery is a choice?
Yes, sir. Remember that? I remember it.
Yeah.
I remember it well.
Yeah. Remember when you said you were a Nazi?
Remember he's wearing that Nazi shit?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Remember when you dressed up in the Klan outfit?
Ooh,
that was hilarious. Oh, boy, that was funny. That was hilarious. I can hold multiple opinions, and a lot of people can hold multiple opinions. I cannot be down with him and sort of kiss off his apology, and also hope that he's getting the help he needs and Absolutely. He continues to get the help that he needs. But as far as being down with him, nah, dog.
Yep.
I'm good.
I'm hella good. You can't trust those kind of people, bro.
No.
Sorry, you can't.
Nope. So, vaya con Dios, Holmes. Vaya con Dios. I do like to play the game of, did the person who is putting forth this apology, did they actually write the apology?
It's a lot of words. I feel like he probably did.
Guess no. I'm going to guess. You think, well, you know what? That's a good point.
Kanye he's too much of a narcissist to let somebody else write his stuff.
That's a good point.
Ain't no PR person on the planet going to let him write that much.
That's a good point. He is he's prolific in the studio, and also when it comes to penning apologies. So I hope it works for some people, and I hope he gets the help that he needs. But no, brother, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
good.
Yeah, man.
I am good. Let's do some on this date.
Let's do it.
We? On this date, January 26th. On this date, January 26th, 1992, during halftime of Super Bowl 24, the then Redskins and the Buffalo Bills, this game was on CBS. But on Fox, during halftime of the Super Bowl, a live edition of In Living Color was broadcast. And this is a significant moment in television history.
Yeah.
Because so many people flipped over to Fox to watch a live halftime edition of In Living Color, flipped from CBS to Fox. So many people did that the next year, the halftime entertainment, well, let me start here. The halftime entertainment for this game, it was in Minneapolis at the old Metrodome, as I mentioned. It was Washington Buffalo, Super Bowl 24. The halftime entertainment for that show was Winter Magic, a salute to the then upcoming 1992 Winter Olympics. Gloria Stefan was there. Members of the 1980 Olympic hockey team was there. I think Dorothy Hamill was there. So many people flipped from that on CBS to the Fox In Living Color Super Bowl halftime live show that the next year, the halftime entertainment for the Super Bowl was Michael Jackson.
That's right.
That was the beginning of Super Bowl halftimes being the biggest show you can get on free television.
The NFL did not want any chance of anybody challenging their dominance on Super Bowl Sunday. And
the networks, by the way, who had paid millions of dollars and for the rights to broadcast Super Bowls, and those companies who paid those networks millions of dollars for their commercials to be seen during halftime of the Super Bowl, they said, we can never, ever, ever have this happen again. And how did that sea change happen that quickly? Because they broadcast In Living Color live at halftime on Fox.
Yep. They had somebody found a weakness in that NFL armor, and they exploited it. And that was that. Like, we not.
That was that.
This ain't happening no more. MJ, get MJ on the phone.
But I love the panic that set in the NFL, and and I forget who had the Super Bowl that next year. It wasn't CBS. It was probably NBC. I think it was NBC. Yeah. That the panic that went through the NFL and went through NBC when they saw what happened to CBS and what Fox was able to do with the live broadcast of In Living Color on this day back in 1992. The panic of just like, we got to do something about it. We got to get somebody to make them a genuine. What do we do? And somebody was like, how about we get Michael Jackson? Damn it, get Michael Jackson on the phone and give him however much. Because at that time, Michael Jackson was still the biggest entertainer and the most popular person on the planet Earth. And for the NFL to be panicked that much to where they say, we got to have Michael Jackson do the halftime show, the very next Super Bowl tells you how big it was for this live halftime edition of In Living Color broadcast on Fox on this day, how big of a deal it was for that to happen, and how it changed the Super Bowl and how it changed entertainment in this country forever. It's crazy.
It was no small moment, because not only did they have reason to be fearful that other networks would start picking up the In Living Color live broadcasting, and it worked, but also at that point, the Super Bowls were pretty much over by halftime anyway. So it was much easier to peel away the audience at halftime. So this is a really pivotal moment in the history of the NFL.
Huge. Absolutely. On this date, 1992, the In Living Colors live Super Bowl halftime show on Fox stole a massive audience away from Super Bowl 24 on CBS, and it changed television history and definitely changed Super Bowl halftimes forever.
Now you have people tuning in specifically for the halftime
just for the halftime show. Exactly. Speaking of Super Bowls, on this day, January 26th, we've had a handful of Super Bowls take place. As I mentioned, Washington, Buffalo on this date in 1992. New England and Chicago, Super Bowl 20. The great 85 Bears team beating the Patriots. Was it 46-10? I forget the exact score, but beating the pants off the Patriots. And Super Bowl 31 took place on this date, January 26th, New England, Green Bay.
That Bears team?
Yes.
You remember the one loss they took that year? It was
to the Dolphins on Monday night. Yeah.
And so weirdly that this comes up because I watched that today.
You did?
I watched it today. So it's so weird this comes up. And I realized, because I don't know why I was thinking, well, because the Dolphins had a shitty defense and they were prolific scorers and Dan Marino was at the peak of his power, but they were eating quarterbacks up. And I'm like, well, why did they win that game? And I went back and watched it, and they did something that I don't think anybody else that year did. They moved the pocket.
Yeah. Well, because Dan Marino,
he wasn't, but he was such a statue, but they moved that pocket around. He was rolling out on almost every play.
Because he would have gotten killed.
Yeah. And that bought him time to get the ball. He wasn't taking small chunks. He was gashing them.
No, he was putting that thing on him. He was pushing that bad boy down the field. Absolutely.
Nate Moore. Oh, Nat Moore, yeah. Nat Moore. That dude, he was killing them.
Yep. So we had Super Bowl 20 on this day, Super Bowl 24 on this day, and Super Bowl 31, Patriots versus the Packers on this day. Also on this day, we had Super Bowl 37. Super Bowl 37 between Marcus's then Oakland Raiders and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Not a good memory.
I watched, not a good memory, but I've forgotten how this game started. I'd forgotten about Charles Woodson's interception that eventually got the Raiders a field goal. It took a very early lead, and it was field goals back and forth in this game until you got late into the second quarter. And because Bill Callahan decided not to change things for the Raiders offense, as you can see, they were getting to Rich Gannon because they were whooping the offensive line. And Rich Gannon threw 5 interceptions.
Couple of pick sixes too, right?
He threw 3 pick sixes.
Yeah.
In this game. It's got to be a record.
I don't think anybody's getting that record anytime soon.
No. So 5 interceptions, 3 pick sixes. This was the last Super Bowl to be played in San Diego. And this is also the last Super Bowl to be played in January.
Oh.
Yeah. And also, as I'll stop the video here for a second. Also, I was a young sideline reporter for the Oakland Raiders at that Super Bowl. Look at that young, handsome devil right there. Look at that kid. I was the sideline reporter.
They hated Callahan too, didn't they?
Yes, after. And then they really hated him when he called them the dumbest team in America the next year.
And that was when Larry Robbins got caught up and that screwed him.
Yeah, so the 2 things, 3 things. More than likely the Raiders are going to lose that game, even if Bill Callahan changed some calls and did some things differently offensively. Because for folks who don't know, John Gruden, former Raider coach, ended up at Tampa. Did they trade him? Yes, they traded him. Al Davis traded him to Tampa. Yep. They go to the Super Bowl, and he goes to the Super Bowl next year with Tony Dungy's team, defense. They go to the Super Bowl next year. Bill Callahan is the coach for the Raiders, and in his infinite wisdom, he doesn't change calls. He doesn't change anything about the offense. It's basically the offense that John Gruden had intimate knowledge of. So not only because of John Gruden's understanding of what the Raiders were doing offensively was that going to be an issue, that Tampa defense, pardon me, is one of the greatest defenses of all time. Okay? So even if they didn't have any intimate understanding and knowledge of the Raiders offensively, Derek Brooks, Hall of Famer, is on that team. Warren Sapp, Hall of Famer, is on that team. John Lynch, Hall of Famer, is on that team. So the Raiders were doomed anyway, just because of the defense that they were seeing. Add in the Barrett Robbins situation. Oh. And yeah, Barrett Robbins was he was having issues. Had a manic episode, took off to Tijuana, and was unable to play. Barrett Robbins was the center. And watching this game and watching these highlights, you notice how much of the pressure that Rich Gannon gets, how much of that pressure comes where? Up the middle. And so the Raiders were doomed in this game from the beginning. Now, as you can see here in this clip that we're showing, the Raiders were able to make it somewhat interesting, but the sacks, the 5 interceptions, the 3 pick sixes, and Tampa not only knowing what the Raiders were going to do, but having one of the greatest defenses of all time at their disposal. You see here, the Raiders are down 34-9. A block punt, gets them a touchdown to make it a little bit closer, but there was no chance of them actually ever winning this game.
By that time, it was done.
The Raiders were really done from the beginning, if you just look at the fact as to who they were playing, and also they knew exactly what the Raiders were doing right when the Raiders were going to do it, or even before.
Yeah, I definitely think that was the key, the offense and playing that defense, because you didn't even give yourself a chance.
Yeah.
And because the crazy thing is, that wasn't a good offensive team.
Oh, it was terrible.
They were good. So you would at least give yourself a shot if you had done some things differently. I honestly can't believe that they not only didn't change that, but I don't think they changed. I don't think they prepared specifically for that Tampa Bay offense in the way that even if you don't think they're good, you still have to put together a game plan that says this is how we're going to stop. It just doesn't seem like they were prepared at all.
Yeah, it was a bad matchup for the Raiders to begin with, and then external factors out of the control of the players made it an even worse situation. So the Raiders lose it 48-21. Raiders losing Super Bowl 37 on this date, January the 26th. There you go. Last Super Bowl in San Diego, as I mentioned, and last Super Bowl in January. So, yeah. And by the way, Sting and what's her name? Old girl from No Doubt. Now she's got black. Yes, Sting and Gwen Stefani were the halftime acts for.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and why do I think Shania Twain was there? I don't know why Shania Twain is popping into my head.
I don't think she's ever done a Super Bowl.
You know what? I'll see if I can look it up. But I don't know why. I don't know. I feel like Shania Twain was there, but I definitely know that Sting and Gwen Stefani were the halftime entertainment for this Super Bowl on this date, January 26th. So there you go. And one last on this date for the fine peoples out there, and it's a sad one. On this date in 2020, Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gigi and 7 others, died in a helicopter crash on this date in 2020. And that's one of those where you remember where you were when you got the news, and you were just like,
just a crazy year, because
really,
like Kobe went down, and then a month and a half, 2 months later, the entire world was shut down. It's just a weird period, man.
Yeah.
Never forget that.
Yeah. Sad. So yeah, on this date, 6 years ago, Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna, and 7 others passed away in a tragic helicopter crash outside of Orange County. They were on their way to a basketball practice. It was a foggy morning, and that contributed to that unfortunate event that touched everybody. And I think Marcus, I think it still leaves a scar in the NBA because Kobe was supposed to be the OG that kept everything in line. Yeah. You know what I mean? He was supposed to do what Mike was doing and maybe do it, a little bit extra, do it like Kobe, do it, with his sauce and his personality. And a lot of guys were looking forward to having his mentorship and just kind of having him be the guy that keeps everybody on the straight and narrow. You know what I mean? And losing him, I just, it's like when the rap game lost Nipsey Hussle. Just a lot of people still to this day just have trouble with the fact that they're not here, and there just seems to be something missing in terms of that one person, that one presence, that one figure sort of keeping everybody in line. Even if you didn't like Kobe, even it didn't matter. Kobe's presence just kind of kept cats in the right lane.
People respect Kobe.
He's not here. It just seems like people are sort of off their moorings,
Yep, they definitely respected Kobe. He turned out to be a really solid ambassador for the game of basketball.
Yeah.
And that's what you lost from that pop cultural standpoint. You lost real impact, and every generation needs that guy as sort of the bridge between the last era and the new era. It'll be interesting to see who that is from our era, from this era.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a really good point. Boy, but the thing is that you have to want to take that on.
Yep.
I think Jordan took it on reluctantly.
Yep.
Kobe took it on aggressively.
Yep.
So whoever that guy is, is it going to be LeBron? He's kind of the natural guy you think of. Maybe I could see that. Could it be Steph? Could it be Kevin Durant? I don't know. Yeah, because would he want to do it willingly?
Yeah.
And again, it's just something that it can be sort of forced upon you, but there has to be a certain amount of acceptance of, I'll take it.
And Kobe, respect on you as the player.
Respect on you as the player as well. And the thing about Kobe, and I wasn't a fan by any stretch of the imagination. Respect for him and what he accomplished. But was I a Kobe fan? No. But I do think was sort of like the weather vane for playing the game hard. And playing the game the right way. Not cheating the game. Not bullshitting. You know what I mean? Not just playing it with a certain amount of intensity and respect for the game. And
he couldn't have played with James Harden. Like, they would have fought. They would have fought. You know what else?
How delightful the idea of that actually happening.
He would have punched Jordan Poole too. If he didn't take it serious, he was on your ass.
He might have punched Draymond.
he might have. He probably would have respected Draymond.
I mean, you could still punch people you respect.
But he wasn't playing that. He was not playing that. You get in here,
no.
Take this game seriously, no laughing and joking and all that bullshit.
No. I like I said, I respected how he approached the game. For sure. And his demand that everyone in the league have that same, that Mamba mentality that they talked about. in the wrong hands of the wrong person, that could be that can be viewed as corny or somebody being a try hard. But with Kobe doing it, it was real and it was genuine because he lived his raps. You know what I mean?
Yep.
The way that he demanded other guys play is the same way he played. The way that he demanded Shaq play and Shaq bristled at it, it wasn't just somebody just barking from the sidelines. Like what Kobe demanded out of Shaq is what Kobe demanded out of himself. And even I, as someone who wasn't a Kobe fan, I respected the hell out of that.
Me too, man. I mean, he was also, as an ambassador, he was also willing to call people out, which is why I wouldn't think a guy like Steph would be very good as an ambassador, because I don't think Steph would be somebody who's willing to call people out.
But the thing with Steph is he will let you know, or he will get his point across. He will do it in a low-key way.
He's
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what he is? He's very tactful.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not tactful in sort of a sneaky, behind the scenes, like conniving way.
Yeah.
It's tactful in terms of, I got a point I want to get across, but not everybody needs to hear it. If I got something I want to say to someone about a certain situation or about what that certain someone is doing, then I'm going to say it to that someone. And I think it expands to a larger point about Steph and the Warriors and where they are right now. It drives me crazy that people think that Steph is some shy, wilting flower that needs to be protected, and he needs everyone's support because he's just too nice of a guy to say anything about a situation, and particularly the situation with the Warriors. If anybody out there thinks that Steph, as a grown man who is one of the greatest basketball players of all time, if you don't think that guy has the wherewithal and the stones to advocate for himself and what he wants and what he thinks is best for his career, then you are out of your fucking mind. Steph Curry is a grown-ass man. And this idea that he just allows himself to be run over by an incompetent owner and an incompetent front office and an incompetent coach and a crazy person in Draymond Green and even his wife. If you are under the impression that this grown-ass man who has made himself into one of the greatest basketball players of all time is some wilting flower, some shrinking violet, that's your personality flaw.
I think you understand that, and I think I understand that. Like, nothing is happening with this team now without Steph Curry.
That he does not have intimate knowledge of and uber amounts of input on.
Trust me, if Steph Curry thought that Jonathan Kuminga should be starting, he'd probably be starting. And remember a couple of years ago, that Sacramento series, when the word snuck out that Steph Curry said to anybody, because I think Kuminga was kind of pissed that he wasn't playing, and he said, "Listen, anybody who's not on this, who's not aboard this train, they got to get on this bus so they can stay here."
That's the most you will get out of Steph publicly in terms of doing a Kobe and saying, if you ain't down with the cause, then fuck you. That's his, but that's his personality. That does not mean that he has a docile personality or he is soft or he is soft spoken. Trust me when I tell you this. And again, I know, okay? All right, I've talked to enough people. I know him enough. We ain't sharing Christmas cards, but I know him enough.
He's not a mark out there.
He ain't a mark.
He ain't nobody mark out there.
So you can root for Steph. You can want the best for Steph, but please, dead this idea that Steph is some babe that needs to be protected and he needs everyone to advocate for him because he's just too nice of a guy to say that he's just too nice of a guy to demand certain things that would enhance his ability to win and would enhance his career.
Facts.
He's doing it.
Yes.
Trust me.
Yeah.
He doesn't need your help. All right. He ain't Kobe, but he doesn't need your help. So, all right. So there you go. On this date, January the 26th, the live edition of In Living Color happened during Super Bowl 24 on CBS. Millions of viewers switched to Fox, and that changed Super Bowl halftime shows and Super Bowl broadcasts forever. On this date in 2003, Raiders lost Super Bowl 37, 41-28 to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Last Super Bowl to be played in San Diego, last Super Bowl to be played in January, and the first Super Bowl I covered. And on this date in 2020, Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gigi, and 7 others perished in a tragic helicopter crash. So there you go on this date. Best thing I've seen today is how we always end Quality Hangs. I see something on the internet, and it's the best thing I've seen today. And I show it to you in hopes that it will be the best thing that you will have seen today. You guys remember Schoolhouse Rock?
Of course.
Schoolhouse Rock, right?
Of course.
Great, right? Schoolhouse Rock is the reason I know the preamble to the Constitution.
Oh, yeah.
Schoolhouse Rock is also the reason that I can only sing the preamble to the Constitution because that's how I learned it from Schoolhouse Rock.
Yeah.
And Schoolhouse Rock, it was the music, the visuals, because we were kids, the visuals, the cartoons, that's what drew us to it. But it was the music and it was the songs that taught us the lessons. It was the song that taught us about that 3 was the magic number. It was the song that taught us how a bill becomes a law. It was the music that gave us the lesson. The music was the spoonful of sugar that made the medicine go down. And if I say to you, conjunction junction, you're singing it. You're singing it in your head and you're singing it out loud and you can hear it. So what I ran across a live performance of Conjunction Junction. And I'm going to play it for you right now because it's the best thing I've seen today. But let me say this. After watching it, or let me say this. Before you watch it, is this what you thought the person who sang Conjunction Junction, is this what you thought that person looked like?
So right? I've actually seen that guy.
I've seen the
guy.
So you know, but to those who don't know, put in your mind how you think the guy who sang Conjunction Junction, who sang how Bill becomes a law. I'm just a Bill. Okay, so you have that person in your mind's eye. Good. Here's the live recording or the live performance of Conjunction Junction, brought to you by the person who actually sang it on Schoolhouse Rock.
Junction, what's your function? Hooking up words and phrases and clauses. Conjunction, junction, how's that function? I got 3 favorite cards that get most of my job done. Conjunction, junction, what's their function? I got and, but, and, or. They'll take you pretty far.
That's the man who brought you Conjunction Junction. That's the man who brought you I'm Just a Bill. I had no idea that he looked like my high school principal.
So for years, I thought he was from New Orleans because he had that kind of
100%. 100%.
From Jacksonville.
I thought I thought
he.
he looked like Scatman Crothers. All right, in my mind, he looked like he looked like Scatman Crothers. Right, he looked like the guy in he looked like the black man in The Shining. Okay, in no way, shape, or form did I think that my man looked like this.
Yeah, dude. What a trip that was. What a trip that was. I don't even know if he's still alive, to be honest with you. But what a trip.
Oh man. Yeah, man. Such good stuff. And
great voice,
great voice. And just what a brilliant idea. Mm-hmm. And man, I wish we still had those kind of people, making television for kids today. And I wish we still had a media ecosystem that allowed that to happen. Because I mean, Schoolhouse Rock, Sesame Street, and Electric Company, and all that stuff. I mean, if you are of a certain age, and we are of that certain age, that shit was invaluable.
It was great. And with Schoolhouse Rock, I don't even think you'd have to sort of modernize it. I think that it is ageless, timeless. Anybody who hears that, it's too catchy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, it's like I said, it's to teach kids somewhat complex stuff, like how a bill becomes a law.
I mean, that's crazy.
To do that in 3 minutes, using animation and song, that shit's brilliant.
English, you're getting math, you're getting science. I mean, all this stuff. Electricity. Come on.
Dog, I forgot about electricity.
Come on, man.
I mean, you learned about the Revolutionary War.
Yeah, history. That's right.
From Schoolhouse Rock. Yeah,
that's
man.
Right. Look like it's going to be a free country.
Oh, come on, dude. See, you know what? Now I gotta watch some Schoolhouse Rock.
What? Rod Brooks, I bought the CD for Schoolhouse Rock.
Oh, I'm sure I have it somewhere.
Gave it to my girls.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Oh. Such good stuff. Mm-hmm. And so this is the version of when folks find out that Bobby Caldwell is a white guy. it's
what?
Finding out that the Conjunction Junction guy is a white guy from Jacksonville and not a brother from New Orleans.
Oh, is a person, place, or thing in a white dude.
That is the best thing that I've seen today.
Yeah.
And hopefully that is the best thing that you have seen today.
That's actually great. That's great, right? And with all the bullshit going on in the world, that's a sweet reminder how good things can be. I love it.
Oh man, man, that's some true shit right there, my brother. That is some true shit. Let's get on out of here so everyone can enjoy their evening. Thanks to the fine folks at Hop Monk Taverns for their sponsorship, for their support. 3 locations to choose from: Sonoma, Sebastopol, and in Novato. Check them out online. Check them out on all of the pertinent social media apps. Better yet, check them out for yourself. Stop by one of those 3 locations. Have a fantastic meal. Have a great beer from one of their many craft beers on tap. And there's something entertainment-wise, I'm sure, at Hop Mug that will definitely tickle your fancy, whatever your fancy may be. All right, my brother, how about we do this again on Thursday? What do you say?
Let's do it, baby. Let's do it.
All right, my man, and all the quality hangers. We will see you on Thursday. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy the rest of your week. And as always, be good and be good at it. We'll see you. Bye.